In this example, we're going to see how polynomial equations are applied. Three consecutive even integers are such that the square of the first plus the square of the third is 136. Find the three integers. First, let's figure out how we can label the three consecutive even integers. Obviously, the first one we'll label as x. How can we label the second even integer? Now remember that it's an even integer. This means that it's going to jump up by 2, meaning that if our first even integer was 2, then our second one would be 4. So if this were x, we could represent 4 as x plus 2. So we can represent our second number as x plus 2. Our third would similarly be represented as x plus 4. Because think of this, what would the next even integer be? It would be 6. Well, you would have to take the first integer and you would have to add 4 to get to that third. Now that we have the first, second, and third integers represented in variables, let's see how we can work this problem. It says that the square of the first, so we're going to take the first and we're going to square it, plus the square of the third. So take the third even integer and we're going to square it, is 136. Now we'll need to solve this. So don't forget, we'll need to FOIL this out. If I use FOIL to multiply x plus 4 times x plus 4, I'll find x squared plus 8x plus 16. So in one step I'll combine my like terms and I'll also subtract 136 from both sides. And we'll write on the next page what we find. After we combine our like terms and move 136 over, we find 2x squared plus 8x minus 120. Before you do any factoring, notice that we have a common factor. 2 will divide all of these terms. So let's factor out a 2. That would leave me with x squared plus 4x minus 60 equals to 0. Now to factor our trinomial, we'll need two numbers that multiply together to give me that last term of negative 60, but add up to give me the middle term of positive 4. Since our product is negative, we know we're going to be dealing with a positive number and a negative number. Since the sum is positive, that means that the larger number must be positive. So we'll list out all combinations of numbers that multiply to give us negative 60, making the larger number positive. The combination that adds up to give me positive 4 is negative 6 and 10. So we have positive 10, negative 6. Now we'll need to set each factor equal to 0 and solve. Since 2 does not contain a variable, it's as if we can just throw it out. So we have 10, or x plus 10 equals 0. X minus 6 equals 0. X equals negative 10. X equals positive 6. Notice here we're going to have two sets of numbers that work. If our first integer is negative 10, then the second integer would be x plus 2, which would be negative 8. Then x plus 4 would be negative 6. We have one set of numbers. Then our second set of numbers would be 6, 8, 10. We can also plug this into our original problem to make sure that the numbers work.